Tom Jones, by Henry Fielding. About the author. Henry Fielding was an English novelist and playwright best known for his innovative contributions to the development of the English novel. He practiced law for several years but found greater success as a playwright and satirist. His early plays, including Love in Several Masks, 1728, and The Author's Farce, 1730, established his reputation as a talented dramatist. In addition to his plays, Fielding wrote numerous essays, poems, and works of satire. However, he is best remembered for his novels, which revolutionized the genre of the English novel. His first major novel, Joseph Andrews, 1742, was a satirical response to Samuel Richardson's Pamela, and is considered one of the earliest examples of the modern novel. Fielding's most famous work is The History of Tom Jones, a Foundling, 1749, often simply referred to as Tom Jones. This epic comic novel is widely regarded as one of the greatest achievements of English literature and is praised for its rich characterization, intricate plot, and moral depth. Fielding's other notable novels include Jonathan Wild, 1743, a satirical portrayal of the criminal underworld, and Amelia, 1751, a poignant exploration of marriage and fidelity. Henry Fielding's life and work exemplify the spirit of the Enlightenment era, with its emphasis on reason, satire, and social reform. His contributions to the development of the English novel helped shape the literary landscape for generations to come. Significance of the title. The most straightforward significance of the title is its identification of the protagonist, Tom Jones. By naming the novel after its central character, Fielding emphasizes Tom's importance to the narrative. This direct association with the protagonist highlights the focus of the story on Tom's adventures, growth, and moral development. The name, Tom Jones, has become synonymous with the concept of the everyman figure in literature. Tom embodies many qualities and experiences that are universal to humanity, making him a relatable character for readers across different times and cultures. As such, the title, Tom Jones, suggests that the novel explores themes and experiences that resonate with the common man, making it accessible and relevant to a wide audience. Despite the seemingly ordinary nature of the title, it also carries elements of irony and satire. Tom Jones, as a picaresque novel, a genre that typically features a rogue or anti-hero as its protagonist. By naming his novel after a character who is flawed and imperfect, Fielding subverts traditional notions of heroism and challenges the reader's expectations. The title invites readers to reconsider their assumptions about morality and virtue, reflecting Fielding's satirical commentary on society. The title, Tom Jones, may also be interpreted as a nod to earlier literary works and conventions. Fielding was known for his playful engagement with literary tradition, and the title could be seen as a parody or homage to the episodic adventures of characters like Don Quixote or Gil Blas. By invoking these literary predecessors, Fielding situates his novel within a broader literary context while also subverting and reinventing traditional narrative forms. In summary, the title, Tom Jones, serves as more than just a simple identifier for the novel's protagonist. It encapsulates themes of universality, irony, satire, and intertextuality, inviting readers to engage with the complexities of the narrative and its portrayal of human nature. Summary of the play. Tom Jones. Tom Jones, published in 1749, is a comic novel by Henry Fielding that follows the lively adventures of the foundling Tom Jones in 18th-century England. Raised by the benevolent Squire Alworthy, Tom's journey involves love, mistaken identity, and a series of humorous escapades. As he navigates the complexities of society and relationships, the novel satirizes social conventions and class distinctions while celebrating the resilience and exuberance of its spirited protagonist in a tale marked by wit, humor, and a keen observation of human nature. Tom Jones has been filmed many times, including a 1963 version that won the Best Picture Academy Award and a 2023 miniseries on PBS. Tom Jones, by Henry Fielding, is a sprawling and intricately plotted novel that follows the adventures, misadventures, and moral growth of its eponymous protagonist, Tom Jones. Set in 18th-century England, the story begins with the discovery of a foundling infant by Squire Alworthy, who names the child Tom Jones and raises him as his own alongside his legitimate nephew, Blifil. As Tom grows up, he exhibits a lively and impulsive nature, often finding himself in trouble due to his penchant for mischief and romantic escapades. Despite his flaws, Tom is inherently good-hearted, demonstrating loyalty, generosity, and a genuine concern for others. The central plot of the novel revolves around Tom's love for Sophia Western, the beautiful and virtuous daughter of a neighboring squire. Despite their mutual affection, their romance faces numerous obstacles, including the disapproval of Sophia's father and the machinations of Tom's jealous rival, Blifil. Throughout the novel, Tom embarks on a series of adventures that take him across the English countryside and bring him into contact with a diverse array of characters, from scheming seductresses to benevolent mentors. Along the way, he learns valuable lessons about love, friendship, and the complexities of human nature. One of the novel's key themes is the contrast between appearance and reality, as Fielding explores the hypocrisy and deceit that lurk beneath the surface of polite society. Through characters like the conniving Blifil and the manipulative Mrs. Waters, Fielding exposes the flaws and contradictions of his contemporaries, offering a satirical commentary on the moral shortcomings of the upper classes. Despite its episodic structure and comedic tone, Tom Jones also delves into weightier philosophical questions about morality, virtue, and the nature of goodness. Fielding suggests that true moral integrity stems not from adherence to rigid social conventions but from an innate sense of decency and compassion. In the end, Tom Jones emerges as a flawed but ultimately heroic figure, whose journey of self-discovery leads him to embrace his true identity and find happiness with the woman he loves. Through Tom's experiences, Fielding offers a profound exploration of human nature and the enduring power of love and forgiveness. Critical analysis of the play, Tom Jones. Tom Jones, by Henry Fielding, is a significant work in the history of English literature, praised for its complex narrative structure, engaging characters, and exploration of morality and human nature. Tom Jones, as a picaresque novel. a genre characterized by its episodic structure and focus on the adventures of a roguish protagonist. Fielding employs a distinctive narrative style, incorporating elements of satire, comedy, and moral commentary. The novel also features an omniscient narrator who directly addresses the reader, offering insights into the characters and events. Tom Jones was published in 1749. During the 18th century, a period marked by significant social, economic, and political changes in England. England at this time was characterized by a rigid class system, with a stark divide between the aristocracy, gentry, and lower classes. Social mobility was limited, and one's birth often determined one's social standing. The 18th century saw the rise of Enlightenment ideals emphasizing reason, individualism, and social progress. However, traditional moral values, particularly those associated with Christianity, still held sway in society. The period witnessed rapid urbanization and the beginnings of industrialization, leading to shifts in demographics, economic structures, and social norms. Tom Jones is set during the reign of King George II, 1727–1760, a time of relative stability and prosperity in England. The novel reflects the political tensions between the Whigs and Tories, the two main political parties of the time. Henry Fielding himself was aligned with the Whigs, and his political views often find expression in his writing. The backdrop of the Jacobite Rebellion of 1745–1746, a failed attempt to restore the Catholic Stuart monarch to the British throne, adds a layer of political intrigue to the novel. The plot revolves around the eponymous protagonist, Tom Jones, a foundling raised by the benevolent Squire Alworthy. The story follows Tom's journey through various social strata, his romantic entanglements, and his quest for self-discovery. Fielding's plot is intricate, with numerous subplots and digressions that enrich the narrative. The structure of the novel is episodic, with each chapter presenting a self-contained episode in Tom's life, while also advancing the overarching storyline. Fielding's characters are vividly drawn and multifaceted, reflecting the diversity of human nature. Tom Jones himself is portrayed as a well-meaning but flawed individual, prone to impulsiveness and moral ambiguity. Other characters, such as the virtuous Sophia Western, the scheming Blifil, and the wise Squire Alworthy, serve as foils to Tom and contribute to the novel's thematic complexity. Tom Jones explores a wide range of themes, including love and desire, social class and status, virtue and vice, and the nature of morality. Fielding uses Tom's adventures to examine the complexities of human relationships and the moral dilemmas faced by individuals in society. The novel also offers a critique of the rigid social hierarchy of 18th-century England, highlighting the injustices faced by those outside the aristocratic elite. Fielding employs humor and satire throughout the novel to lampoon the follies and pretensions of contemporary society. His wit and irony are evident in his portrayal of characters and situations, as well as in his playful manipulation of narrative conventions. Through satire, Fielding exposes the hypocrisy and moral corruption that he perceives in the world around him, while also entertaining the reader with his comedic observations. Despite its satirical elements, Tom Jones ultimately upholds a moral vision rooted in compassion, forgiveness, and redemption. Fielding emphasizes the importance of virtue and integrity, even as he acknowledges the complexity of human behavior. Through the character of Tom Jones, he suggests that true moral growth comes from self-awareness and the willingness to confront one's own flaws. The language of Tom Jones reflects the formal and eloquent style characteristic of 18th-century literature. Fielding's prose is marked by long sentences, elaborate syntax, and rich vocabulary, which can sometimes make it challenging for modern readers. Fielding employs dialogue to capture the diverse voices and dialects of his characters, ranging from the refined speech of the upper class to the earthy vernacular of the lower classes. The novel's language is often infused with irony, satire, and wit, as Fielding uses language to mock the follies and hypocrisies of contemporary society. Fielding makes numerous literary and cultural allusions throughout the novel, drawing on classical mythology, literature, and history to enrich the narrative and add depth to the characters and themes. In conclusion, Tom Jones is a rich and multifaceted novel that continues to captivate readers with its engaging narrative, vivid characters, and insightful exploration of human nature. Fielding's blend of humor, satire, and moral commentary makes it a timeless classic of English literature, deserving of its place in the literary canon. Themes. Tom Jones, by Henry Fielding, explores a multitude of themes that resonate throughout the narrative, offering insights into human nature, morality, and society. Here's a detailed analysis of some of the central themes of the novel. Love and desire. Love is a pervasive theme in Tom Jones, driving much of the plot and character development. Tom's passionate love for Sophia Western serves as the central romantic narrative, while other characters experience various forms of desire, from lust to infatuation. Fielding examines the complexities of love, highlighting its power to inspire both noble acts of selflessness and destructive acts of selfishness. Social class and status. The novel vividly portrays the rigid social hierarchy of 18th-century England, with characters belonging to different classes and strata. Fielding explores the impact of social class on individuals' lives, highlighting the inequalities and injustices inherent in the system. Tom's status as a foundling and his struggles for acceptance in polite society serve as a lens through which Fielding critiques the arbitrary nature of social distinctions. Morality and virtue. Tom Jones grapples with questions of morality and virtue, challenging conventional notions of goodness and righteousness. Fielding suggests that true moral integrity is not determined by outward appearances or adherence to societal norms but by an individual's innate sense of decency and compassion. Characters like Squire Alworthy and Sophia embody virtuous qualities such as kindness, honesty, and forgiveness, while others, like Blifil and Lady Bellaston, are shown to be morally bankrupt despite their outward respectability. Friendship and loyalty. Friendship and loyalty are recurring motifs in the novel, as characters form bonds of camaraderie and mutual support. Tom's friendships with characters like Partridge and Mr. Western demonstrate the importance of loyalty and solidarity in overcoming adversity. Fielding celebrates the transformative power of friendship, depicting it as a source of strength and resilience in the face of life's challenges. Appearance versus Reality. Fielding explores the theme of appearance versus reality, highlighting the discrepancy between how characters present themselves to the world and their true selves. Many characters in the novel are adept at masking their true intentions behind a facade of respectability, leading to misunderstandings and deceptions. Through characters like Blifil and Mrs. Waters, Fielding exposes the hypocrisy and duplicity that lurk beneath the surface of polite society. Redemption and forgiveness. Redemption and forgiveness are central themes in Tom Jones, as characters grapple with their past mistakes and seek to atone for their sins. Fielding emphasizes the importance of second chances and the possibility of moral growth, portraying characters like Tom and Mrs. Waters as capable of genuine transformation. The novel ultimately suggests that true redemption comes from acknowledging one's faults and striving to live a life guided by principles of kindness and compassion. Overall, Tom Jones is a rich and multifaceted exploration of the human condition, offering a nuanced portrayal of love, morality, and the complexities of social interaction. Through its vibrant characters and intricate plot, the novel continues to resonate with readers, inviting reflection on timeless themes of human nature and society. Characterization. Tom Jones features a rich cast of characters, each contributing to the novel's thematic complexity and narrative depth. Here's a detailed analysis of some of the key characters. Tom Jones. The protagonist of the novel, Tom is depicted as a handsome and impetuous young man with a good heart. He is fiercely loyal to his friends and family, but his impulsiveness often lands him in trouble. Throughout the novel, Tom undergoes a journey of self-discovery and moral growth, learning valuable lessons about love, responsibility, and integrity. Sophia Western. The object of Tom's affection, Sophia is portrayed as a virtuous and intelligent young woman. Despite her aristocratic upbringing, she rejects the superficiality of high society and values sincerity and kindness above all else. Sophia's love for Tom is tested by the obstacles they face, but her steadfastness and integrity ultimately prevail. Squire Alworthy. Tom's adoptive father, Squire Alworthy is a benevolent and wise landowner who serves as a moral anchor in the novel. He embodies the values of compassion, fairness, and generosity, serving as a contrast to the hypocrisy and corruption of other characters. Squire Alworthy's unwavering support for Tom highlights the importance of forgiveness and redemption in the novel. Blifil. Tom's jealous and conniving cousin, Blifil is presented as the antithesis of Tom. He is cunning and manipulative, willing to betray others to further his own ambitions. Blifil's antagonistic relationship with Tom drives much of the conflict in the novel, as he schemes to undermine Tom's reputation and win Sophia's affections. Mrs. Deborah Wilkins. Squire Alworthy's domineering housekeeper, Mrs. Wilkins is a humorous and memorable character known for her sharp tongue and strong opinions. She serves as a comic foil to the more serious characters in the novel, providing comic relief with her eccentric behavior and meddling ways. Mrs. Honor. Sophia's maid and confidant, Mrs. Honor is a lively and outspoken character who adds humor and warmth to the story. Despite her lower social status, she possesses a shrewd wit and keen insight into human nature, often offering valuable advice to Sophia and Tom. Mr. Square. Mr. Thwackum, and Parson Supple. These three figures represent different aspects of religious hypocrisy and moral ambiguity in the novel. Mr. Square is a rationalist who dismisses traditional morality, while Mr. Thwackum is a stern disciplinarian who adheres rigidly to religious doctrine. Parson Supple, on the other hand, is a hypocrite who preaches piety while indulging in vice behind closed doors. Lady Bellaston. A wealthy and sophisticated widow, Lady Bellaston is a seductive and manipulative character who pursues Tom for her own amusement. Despite her outward charm, she is morally bankrupt, using her wealth and influence to exploit others for her own ends. Partridge. Partridge is the teacher whom Alworthy accuses of being Tom's father. He is a kind of comedic Harlequin character, Fielding even compares him to Harlequin. Although pathetic, bumbling, and cowardly, Partridge remains a loyal servant to Jones and deserves his reward at the end of the novel. Partridge has a passion for speaking in Latin non sequiturs. Although Partridge creates problems for Tom and Sophia by boosting Tom's reputation and defiling Sophia's to all and sundry, Tom cannot help forgiving Partridge, who always has the best of intentions. Jenny Jones. Jenny Jones, Mrs. Waters, is the student of Partridge whom Alworthy banishes for being Tom's mother. At the end of the novel we learn that Jenny is not Tom's mother. Jenny reappears as Mrs. Waters at Upton, where Tom saves her from a robbery. Although Jenny does not possess the beauty of a Sophia, her very white breasts attract Tom to her. Although she protests to Mr. Alworthy at the end of the novel that she has led a virtuous life, her seduction of Tom in Upton suggests otherwise. She eventually marries Parson Supple, a friend of Western. Bridget Alworthy. Bridget Alworthy is the mother of Blifil and Tom. An unattractive lady who resents beautiful women, Bridget marries Captain Blifil because he flatters her religious views. Although Bridget's affection wavers between Blifil and Tom as the boys mature, she becomes devoted to Tom before her death, largely due to his good looks and gallantry. Harriet Fitzpatrick. Mr. Fitzpatrick is a rash Irishman whom Harriet Fitzpatrick casts in the light of an ogre chasing her across the countryside. Fitzpatrick becomes admirable, however, when he admits to initiating the duel with Tom at the end of the novel. Mr. Dowling. Mr. Dowling is a shrewd, shifty lawyer who becomes a friend of Blifil. Always operating out of expediency, when Dowling realizes that Blifil will not be able to reward him for his efforts, he defects to Tom and Alworthy's side. Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller is a faithful friend to Tom and the most caring and concerned of mothers to Nancy and Betty. Feisty and active, Mrs. Miller carries through on her promises and becomes Tom's biggest advocate to Alworthy. She is trusting and loyal. Nightingale. Nightingale, although a foppish city gentleman, possesses the laudable traits of loyalty and compassion, although not always in affairs of love. It takes a little time for Tom to convince Nightingale not to abandon Nancy, since Nightingale is caught up in his image in London. To his credit, Nightingale transforms and follows Tom's principles of honor, that is, fulfilling verbal commitments. Each of these characters contributes to the novel's exploration of morality, social class, and human nature, adding depth and complexity to Henry Fielding's masterful portrait of 18th-century England.